Hello, hello, friends. Happy Monday. Let's hope this round works. If you're watching the replay, please say hello to me. We're going to dive into 5 things I want you to prioritize as a CEO of your business so that you can really grow and scale it quicker without dumping a ton of time, money, energy, resources into your business. I'm going to share a story with you from last year, and I'm also going to share. Oh, I pulled up the wrong thing. Okay, it's this one. I'm also going to share about, oh, dang it. Where are my notes? Here they are. 7 or so things I did last year in 2017 that were not the right thing to do. I had good intentions in growing and scaling my business last year, but I feel like I didn't necessarily focus on the right things, but I didn't know. And so now that I know better, I'm going to help you not make the mistakes I did. And I really think this is going to be helpful for you. So if you're tuning in live or you're watching the replay, feel free to say hello. This is also inspired by I'm starting to do on-air coaching calls. So last week I did an on-air coaching call with Erin Kelly from Member Vault. She's coaching with her, and based on that coaching call, it inspired me to do this training for you, and just talking more about how do we really step into that CEO role in our business. Because I think at the start of our business, it's totally normal and natural for us to do all the things, right? To wear all the hats. But as we grow and scale, it's important that we don't. And a big thing that I worked on with Erin towards the end of her call was really managing her one of her team members and passing off some things to one of her team members. And so it really inspired me to talk through that, because I talk a lot about getting momentum at the start of your business, but I want to talk more about, especially this summer, what it looks like when you already have momentum in your business. How do you scale in a heart-centered way where you're still connected with your audience, you're still really enjoying your business, but you're not dumping a ton more time? And I think that's what I tried. Okay, so let's dive in. So this training is the 5, this is what I called it, the 5 things to prioritize as the CEO of your business. I'm going to list these 5 things for you. So in 2017, last year, I always get the years wrong, I was fully booked. So I was full with clients, right? I produced the income in my business that I wanted to, but I was looking to scale, right? I was looking to leverage my offers, right? Like, how do I not trade my time for money? Like, how do I see groups of clients, right? Like, how do I leverage my offers, but also how do I leverage my marketing, right? How do I scale how I'm being visible and scale my marketing? So looking at those 2 things, I listed for you here a few of the different things that I tried when it came to growing, right? Because I was like, I know that I don't want to double the amount of time I'm working in my business, so I kind of tried doing that too. But one thing I did is I tried adding a social platform. Not the answer. Tried buying a course. Not the answer. Tried downloading more freebies, right? Not the answer. I tried taking on more clients even though I knew I was fully booked. Not the answer. I tried more launches, so I kind of stacked launches. Instead of using my team more, I tried not using my team, because in my mind, call me crazy, but in my mind, there was this lie that it was a waste of time to delegate and spend time training my team, which obviously is further from the truth. But as I got busier, I actually was using my team less. Huge mistake. I started scheduling things at later hours, even though I know for me, a boundary is that I want to be done on my work days at 2 p.m. And then in many ways, because I was busy seeing clients and busy on the inside of my business, I really put on the brakes as far as my external visibility. So those are some of the things that I do not suggest you do if you are trying to scale and grow your business. But I am going to suggest to you 5 things to prioritize as you really put that CEO hat on. And know that it's like a new phase and a new chapter, right? So what got you to the point of getting clients and getting fully booked is not going to bring you to that next place. So I'm not suggesting is like scrapping your whole business, right? And like pushing an easy button, right? But what I am saying is being mindful that you're probably going to have to exercise some new muscles as you grow. Okay, so one thing that I've implemented, let's do these first. So first I'm going to share with you kind of the 2 tricks I use on myself in order to use that CEO space in my business more. I do 2 things. I've been committing to CEO days. which is 2 days a month that I go away to a hotel. I'm at one right now, in order to literally work on my business and not get trapped in answering a ton of emails or doing like the daily slog of the normal things in our business or taking a ton of client calls, right? And really focusing on these CEO things that I'm going to talk about, right? Literally creating the space where you're leaving your office and you're somewhere else to work on these things. That's number one. Number two is I've created a CEO document, a Google Doc, because I love Google Docs. Maybe for you, though, this might be a Trello board, whatever you use to manage, hey, Jennifer, whatever you use, this is so fun seeing you here, whatever you use to manage your business, make it really accessible. So the Google Doc that I use for my CEO thoughts and visioning, I actually have as a bookmark on the toolbar of my internet browser. So literally on my internet browser where I have all my shortcuts, I have a shortcut to the spreadsheet. And that really makes it accessible. And what do I have on the spreadsheet? I have my core vision, my core values, some of the main projects that I'm working on, and having that document really accessible, it's kind of been a fail-proof way for me to keep in that space as a CEO of my business. So doing, having on my literal, is that what you call it, a toolbar? You guys call that a toolbar where you have your like bookmarks, but the ones that are really handy on your internet browser? Those are having my CEO document linked there. And then also having my 2 CEO days a month are the ways that I focus on these 5 things that I'm going to talk about. Honestly, if I didn't have those systems in place, if I didn't have it bookmarked, if I didn't have those days marked off on my calendar, those 2 CEO days a month, I probably wouldn't be focusing on these 5 things I'm going to tell you about, because it's easy to not make them a priority, right? Because again, like I said, to this point in your business, these things haven't moved you further, but now these things will move you further, right? Like now they will. So are you ready to dive in? Let's see. So here are the 5 things. Number one, the number one thing I want you to be focusing on as a CEO of your business is visioning. This is what I wrote. The momentum from your business will come from you and your vision, where you want your business to be in 10 years, in the next year. You knowing where you're going is so important. You knowing your why. For me, a big way that I vision practically with my calendars, as you guys know, is I use those big monthly calendar sheets, and I practically just like sketch out what are my commitments in my family, what's going on with my family, what's going on with the things that I'm putting out in my business, and really having a vision so that I can bring my team on board with that. And honestly, it's not something that comes natural to me, planning way out in advance, but once I do, it is so relieving for me to really get clear on where do I want my business to go, right? In the short term, in the year, but also in 10 years, right? What do I want my business to look like? What's that goal? The second thing I want you to be focusing on is your income strategy. This is important for every level in business, right? This is what I wrote. At every up level, it's important to get clear on what you're selling, your core offers, how you're selling it, your sales strategy, and exactly who you're selling it to, your ideal client. And if you've been in your business for more than a year, this has probably changed. It's probably shifted how you serve your clients, how you sell to your clients, and who is your ideal client. All of those things change over time. So, and that as a CEO of your business is super important for you to know, right? You need to know what it is that you're offering, who you're offering it to, and how you're selling it. As you grow, and again, this is important that you know from day one in your business, but I think as you grow, you can look at how you leverage each of these things, right? So your offer might be a more leveraged offer. Your sales strategy might be a more leveraged sales strategy, right? But nevertheless, it's important that you are the one that's clear on your income strategy. So as a CEO of your business, that's number 2 that you should be focused on. Hey, Beth, how are you doing? So visioning, income strategy. Number 3, I put people. Even if you're growing, even if you're scaling, it's so important that you're still connected to the people of your business. So this may look like your team, right? Having meetings with your team members. This might look like customer service for your clients. If you don't have a person who's a customer service representative, I don't have one in my business, you are still corresponding with your clients, right? You're still corresponding with your potential clients. Relationships in your industry, networking and coordinating with peers, all of these things as a CEO of your business, you should either be directly doing yourself, or at least be really intentional in who on your team you're having do this. But I truly believe that as you are the CEO of your business, managing people and interacting with people, that's a big part of your job, right? Less and less tasks and more things that have to do with people. Number 4, I put decisions. So this one has always been a really hard thing for me, because when I think at the start of my business or every time I've up-leveled, a lot of what's held me back is feeling like, oh, I don't want to make the wrong decision, right? I don't want to pick the wrong niche. As I shift my offer, don't want to pick the wrong offer, right? And waste time. I think too, this is the thing, as we put off decisions, we know on the other side of making that decision, we're going to have to take brave action. And that's hard, right? Like, as soon as I decide what my core offer is, what comes next? I have to sell my offer, right? So I think those are the 2 reasons why I tend to put off decisions in my business, is like, I'm either afraid of like making the wrong decision, or subconsciously I know once I make the decision, then it's time to do the brave thing. And that can be hard. But as a CEO of your business, making decisions is important. I put setting aside time to get still and make the right decisions in a timely manner is a big priority, right? So giving yourself that CEO white space so you can actually think straight, make decisions in a way that's timely. You're not procrastinating. Again, not impulsively, right? You don't have to make decisions overnight. In fact, I don't think that it's a good idea, right? But that you're doing it, for me, I put 2 things: in a way that's timely and in a way that's right? You're able to make the right decisions. Hey, oh, this is so fun to see you guys hopping on. And you're making them in a really timely manner. It's important. So making decisions, not putting them off. And this is the thing too, what I often see people do is, because they don't want to make decisions, or they don't want to make the wrong decisions, or they say, I don't have enough information to make the decision, they'll like hire a team member or invest in a course or do something expecting someone else to drive their business, instead of remembering that they're the one that's in charge of their business and they're the one that should make decisions. Yes, we should get advice, right? It is a good idea to get help from a coach or help from a friend, right? Or hire team members, but not expecting them to do it for us, right? Knowing that at the end of the day, we're the one that's in charge, we're the one that's driving the bus. And because our coach may say something we disagree with, right? Our industry may be doing something that we don't like, right? So at the end of the day, we need to create that stillness and that space to be able to turn inwards and ask ourselves, what is it that I want to do? Now that I've heard the advice, now that I've heard the strategies, right? What is it that feels right and best to me? And honestly, for me, that is really hard to do if I don't have space and if I don't have support. Space and support are 2 really big things. Oh, I should add this. I wrote a blog post, but I'm going to go in and edit. Support and space, I feel like, are 2 things that really help me with the decision making. Okay, support too, because I think when you have support from someone, they like hold your booty to the fire when it comes to making the decision, right? So I told you guys that a big thing for me is feeling like putting off the decision because I don't want to make the wrong decision. Once I tell someone, whether it's my biz bestie or a coach, hey, I need to make this decision on this. I've been putting it off. What's your advice? Once I get all their advice, my coach is also going to hold me to actually making the decision, right? And not putting it off. So that's why that support is important. Not because they're going to make the decision for you, but because they're going to give you insight and because they're going to hold you accountable. Number 4 is decisions. Ready for number 5? Number 5, as a CEO of your business, you are in charge of innovating. So this is what I wrote. Evaluating what's working and what's not working and adjusting accordingly has helped me evolve and up-level without getting stuck in the comfortable but unproductive patterns in my business. So I'm not the best at change. Like, I tend to get in ruts, or it's hard. Sometimes it can be hard to which is crazy because on my Colby, have you guys taken the Colby? I'm a quick start. And so the Colby says I'm an innovator, and even Strengths Quest, one of my strengths is I'm ideation. But I feel like in many ways I get held back from being creative and innovating because I get stuck in ruts. And so I think as a CEO of your business, it's important that you're thinking creatively, that you're putting new approaches to things. You're willing to change when the industry changes, when you're finding that what you're doing with your clients isn't working, right? Always being willing to be observant, to iterate, to innovate, and really assess what's working and what's not working. One of my favorite hacks for this, so there's white space. We all know what white space is, but I love using gold space. I made this up. Gold space is basically the word I use for when you don't have white space. Like here I am in the hotel, I actually have white space. It's literally like silent. My brain really has the full capacity to think. I don't have a lot of that in my business because I have children, right? But I do have quite a bit of gold space. What is gold space? Gold space is when I'm driving in the car, driving my son to preschool. Gold space is when maybe I'm taking a bath, but I can hear the kids making noise in the other room. Or even when I'm with the kids, but they're playing and I'm just like sitting on a bed or something. I think we actually have more gold space in our business than we realize. And gold space, I feel like, can be really helpful in that same thing, like the innovating and creative thinking and problem solving, if we allow it to. So raise your hand if you've been to a yoga class before. In yoga, at the start of session, usually they ask, what's your intention? What's the intention that you're setting? As you're doing yoga, what is your intention for this time and space? And so gold space is basically my term for when you're doing something else, but you're setting an intention. So often like my littles will be playing and I'm just sitting, you know, if we're outside and I'm sitting on the chair, I'll set an intention for, you know what, like as they're playing, I'm being present, but I also want to have clarity around this thing in my business or this decision in my business. And so setting the intention and using that space, that's kind of like in between the busyness and the white space. So those are my 5 things. Those are my 5 suggestions to you of how you can be really focusing on your business as the CEO of your business and not getting stuck in the weeds. Because I think we do the day-to-day stuff, right? And that's important. Doing the client work is super important. Doing the tasks, doing the projects. But again, those 2 tools, doing a CEO day and having a CEO document, have been game-changing for me. So game-changing. So I have a few more minutes. So feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions around this idea of being the CEO of your business. And I totally get too that you're still the other roles, right? Like you might also still be bookkeeping. You might also still be the customer service person. So it's okay that you have multiple roles. I'm just pleading with you that you make the space and the margin to also be the CEO and do those 5 things so that you can be focused in a way that moves your business forward. Because I have found, you guys, this year as I've been doing more of this, that's actually what's driven my business forward. And I get that it's an investment, right? To carve 6 hours out of my month twice a month is costly, right? Like I'm paying for a hotel space. I'm spending my time, right? I'm spending my mental energy and resources. So I get that it's an investment. It's a huge investment in your business. But honestly, especially once you've gotten some momentum, I think it's the best use of your time, right? That's the best use of your time. Oh, the weeds, service industry. Beth, I don't know what you're talking about. It must have been something that I said. Anyway, so for this summer, remember you guys, I am offering single strategy intensives. I don't offer these very frequently, but basically this is just a time if you want a one-off session with me. It's a 75-minute session where we get to brainstorm. If you're feeling stuck in any of these areas that are kind of holding you back from fully stepping into that CEO, right? So if you have a decision and you need some insight and perspective, or you need accountability to get the dang decision made, right? Or if you're really struggling with your vision, you're like, I don't know where I want to go in 10 years, honestly. I don't know what this year should look like. I don't know practically when I should launch this or create this or film my one-on-one here. If you're feeling stuck on any of those things, I would love to support you around that. And maybe you don't need a long-term coaching relationship. Maybe you just need a single strategy session where we sit down and video chat for 75 minutes. It's recorded, so you can rewatch it, and get clear on some of the decisions so that you can have that CEO space and move your business forward. I am happy to chat. My May ones are booked up, but I have space in June for you. And so if you want more information, I'm going to pop a link below. But if you in June want to meet with me for 75 minutes to work on your business one-on-one so that you can make some overhead momentum, right? Like this is especially helpful if you have some momentum in your business, but you're finding that you're stuck in up leveling, right? There might be a mindset block that's getting in the way. There might be something that's strategic that's getting in the way, right? And I am happy to sit with you. I think you'll be surprised at how much we can get done in 75 minutes. I honestly like that intensive amount of time because I feel like we can really dive in there and get some clarity and confidence so that you can move forward in the summer feeling really good at the next up level. Beth says, as a server, when you're in the weeds, you're overwhelmed and very busy. Yes, Beth, tell me about that. Or bartending. I can totally see that. And I think, like, to your point, like I've seen waitresses or bartenders, right, that have been overwhelmed and exhausted, and those that have been present, right? I was thinking about this the other too when you think about like emergency professionals, like firefighters and EMTs. Obviously they're in like a super stressful environment and they have got a ton to get done, but so often you'll see them really calm, really grounded. And I love that analogy for how we need to step into the CEO role in our business. It's not that we still don't have stuff to get done, right? It's not that we still don't have tasks and emails and clients. It's just that we're approaching it knowing that taking the CEO time is important, right? And as I shared at the start, this was really hard for me to sink into. Believing that taking CEO time, taking time to train my team, taking time to strategize and vision was important. But you guys, it is the most important thing. I wrote a blog for you. So all of this is written down. If you, on your next CEO day, want to print this out and make sure that you're doing these 5 things as a CEO of your business, I think that could be helpful. So I will list the blog post link below. I will post the strategy session link below. But thank you for joining me. Like, thank you for hanging out with me on this CEO day of my business. And if you are courageous enough, I would love for you to comment below which of these 2 strategies you want to implement next. Again, I listed 2 CEO strategies. One is the CEO day, where you actually leave your office and you make some margin in your calendar for visioning. The other is a CEO document. Mine is Google Doc. Yours might be a Trello board, but I would love to hear from you in the comments below, whether it's a CEO document or CEO day that you plan to execute this week in your business. Is that too much to ask? I really feel like I would love for you to execute one of those 2 things, either a CEO document that's really handy or schedule and book a CEO day for yourself this week. I think it's that important. Okay, hope you guys have a beautiful Monday, and I'll talk to you later.